Bow hunting is my life. Filming is my passion. My bow is my weapon. Hunting giant deer is my purpose. Shed hunting is what moves me. Chasing spring gobblers sharpens our skills. Designing the gear that I use is my job. Making better bow hunting videos is my duty. These are my friends and my brothers. This is my world. This is Whitetails Inc. When producing shows for Whitetails Inc., we don't follow any specific production standard for our shows. We kind of show what we want to see ourselves and just constantly try to keep the shows evolving into new and different areas. In this episode of Whitetails Inc., we take you behind the scenes to show you one of the best days of the season. On the afternoon of October 28th, we headed into a spot I knew could produce a big buck. The conditions and timing for this hunt were perfect, and I knew it. One aspect of what we do I don't feel gets enough attention is our setup. I'm not sure what others do, but our routine has been honed over 6 years of hunting some 300 plus days in the field. I am so lucky to have met Kyle when I did. He has the same work ethic as myself, and it allows us to be as efficient as possible when performing all of these tedious tasks in the field. Upon reaching the tree, I climb up, and the first thing I do is get myself clipped into my harness. While I'm doing this, Kyle is taking his camera arm base off the cameraman stand, which we usually pack in. Kyle then attaches the tree stand to the rope, and I pull it up into position and get it set up. Kyle is then getting his pack set and my bow tied to the rope before he climbs up. I have Kyle then hang my rattling antlers over my bow so that I don't have to deal with more stuff up in the tree while getting set up. Once Kyle starts making the climb up the tree, I'm busy securing his safety harness rope in a position that will allow him to be clipped in before he even steps on his stand. Only after we are both secured to the tree does Kyle climb into his stand. Once we are both in the tree and secured by our harnesses, we both screw our ozonics brackets into the tree above our heads and get the ozonics running as soon as possible. I then screw my Quickie Quiver tree bracket and my bow hanger into the tree. Then I'm able to pull my bow up in position and hang it out of the way. While I'm doing this, Kyle is getting a bow hook screwed into the tree to hang the camera arm base. I help Kyle put the strap on the camera arm base quietly, and I ratchet it tightly against the tree. Kyle finishes his camera arm setup by leveling everything out and getting his camera mounted on the arm.
While Kyle's finishing the camera setup, I'm putting my upper layers on and getting ready for the hunt.
Well, I gotta say, this is one of the stands I've been looking so forward to hunting. Set it about 3 months ago with Timmy out here on the downwind side. Set this stand up to be on the downwind side, this bedding area right here behind me. I don't know if they're bedding in it very regularly, but it's a thicket. Everything comes to a point right here on this ridge. The wind's blowing off here. Anything to the west, northwest, southwest is a killer spot for it. The reason we set this stand right here is because there's a giant community scrape here. It's a social networking spot. There's decent buck sign throughout. I know what deer are in this area. We got Lucifer, Sid Vicious, my number one buck I want to kill. We have the ice pick buck. We got a buck named Bird, Fat Albert, a bunch of different bucks, but there's 3 I would kill. Sid Vicious, the number one. He's a giant 9 or 10 pointer. He's got a 6 side and a 4 side with a big palmated beam, heavy mass, kickers. The wind's good. It should push all the deer on this downwind side over here. At least let's hope for it. And maybe we'll catch a break and get a shot at Sid Vicious tonight. That's the goal. We have 2 bud bucks in here feeding. We're seeing deer. That's a good sign. I'm just, never have hunted this spot before. I don't know what to expect. All I know is this summer on trail camera pictures, I got pictures of a ton of bucks. So no matter what, at some point, anything could come through here, even if they're living on adjacent properties. They're going to be cruising this spot at some point. That's why we have stands here. So why can't it be Sid Vicious? He's giving me dream shot after dream shot. Walking through right now at 25 yards and quartering. Going to investigate 1 doe and fawns. Oh wow, is that cool lighting? That whole family of deer come through, like, I think 3 does and 3 or 4 bucks, or 3 and 4 fawns. Literally, a mini storm blew through for like 2 minutes. It was blowing like crazy. Almost every one of those deer went right through this social networking spot. We're in the right spot, man. That's exactly what I anticipated. Now, I'm just hoping we might catch a buck on their tail, because with all that doe scent in the timber, them bucks are going to be following right behind those does. If they do, we'll have a 20 to 30 yard crack shot. So, come on, Sid Vicious, you son of a buck. Right now, as that deer comes in, we've had inconsistent winds over the last 10-15 minutes. So I am just literally moving my machine right above my head, right toward that deer, so that no matter what the wind does, we're going to have a burst of ozone between us and that animal. The wind is now blowing right in my face, so we don't have a problem, but he's following right where them deer came through, and that's what I expected him to do, so. Why we wear pressure camo and use those onyx, man. We are no more than 15 feet up in the tree. As soon as we got here, I was like, geez, Louise, I don't know what kind of a backdrop or are we gonna be able to get away with this, but that deer was right here at 5 yards. All right, there's a deer right behind us. All right, it's a big buck. I just released 2 milkweeds. They went right towards that pine tree. That deer is straight freaking downwind of us right now. I think he hit our son walking in where we walked in. Alright, don't worry about it. I have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be another buckwill. Alright, for you anti-ghost owners, friggin' 3-year-old 8, I bet that's the most knowledgeable deer in the entire world. He literally hit our scent trail where we walked in, and that was straight downwind. The wind is blowing literally southwest. It's blowing all over just like that. Walked right downwind, followed our scent line. Came right past us at about 10 yards. So, it's freaking awesome. Ozonics works, man. All you naysayers, just keep naysaying because it's just giving us one more good encounter after one more good encounter because we probably would have been blown in by these does that first came through because the wind was swirling all over. But pay attention here. I have a sneaking suspicion there's going to be another big buck coming through here. What's that? Oh, can you see him? Oh, there he is right there. That's great, man. Well, I think we did our homework, buddy. When the boys come to play, they come to one spot, check first. And now you can see why. Just hoping he would attract something bigger over there. What's that? Yep, different deer. I don't know if it's shoot or not, but it looked like a big 8. He just chased that other one off. Can you see him this time? Alright, that's a dink. Alright, the other one's coming on the right. He split off from him. He's got double smudgy too. That's sweet. How's that? One of them's a 4-year-old, I'm almost sure. Alright, he's straight downwind of us. that other one's decent, but not for... Oh yeah, dude, that's that big freaking 4-year-old 8. Kyle, if you can, reach up and push your ozonics towards the bottom deer. Yeah, he's a big 4-year-old. That's a buck that pushes everything around. And usually not too far from him. That's another good buck that might be a shooter. Did you get that? Snort wheeze, baby. Alright, that's a big 4-year-old. He's about to walk downwind. That deer's the biggest old prick. Let's see what he thinks of ozonics. Mr. Tough Guy snort weaving at everything. We're gonna get in a good old-fashioned snort wheeze combo. Dallas, bring your rattling antlers. He should come this way. Oh man, this is freaking insane awesomeness. If there's a big 5-year-old in this neighborhood, he's gonna be over here in a minute. It's been an awesome night, man. It's been a freaking awesome night. We've seen 4 bucks. And probably 5 or 6 does. And every time you hunt a new farm, you just never quite know, you know, they all look a little bit different. So far, so good. This bedding area I knew was going to be a hot spot come the rut, and all these bucks came here checking it first for does. And now we've seen the dominant buck, one of the dominant bucks in the area. He's a bastard of an 8-pointer. He pushed every other deer off of a mineral that's on the other side of the property. And whenever he was there, he was always the king dog. So that's what we needed to know, baby. I've just seen 2 or 3 of the bucks I've had drug here pictures of. None of the big mature ones yet, but they'll be around eventually when the time's right. The old Rambling Oaks farm. Rambling Oaks. Psst, psst, psst. He was over there snort wheezing like crazy. He's just a prick. He's the type of deer that you really want to kill because he's dominant. He pushes around all these other big mature deer. He's just a mean old son of a buck. Kind of reminds me of Fort Worth after a whiskey. Or Tater after a bottle. Oh, that's awesome. I mean, dude, like Kyle and I just haven't really had a good night. The other thing I just realized, too, after watching a 3-year-old 8-pointer come straight downwind twice, follow our centro to about 15 yards from us. I don't think this farm's had much pressure on it. Of all these farms that I've been around and scouted, this is one that hasn't had I didn't find hardly any tree stands on it. So some of the other farms are completely loaded that I have scouted. So oh, that's freaking awesome, man. That's all I needed to see. Now it's like, all right, they're here. They're wandering, and if they're here and they're that calm, other big deer will be cruising through at some point. Gosh, I love it. I freaking love it. Could have pounded a 3-year-old 8 130 incher. He's probably a upper 130s. Maybe he's got a lot of mass, but he's just nothing monstrous. I wouldn't shoot him, but that's sweet. That confirms my my gut on this farm was to put everything, throw all of our eggs in this bedding area. Not all of them. We got a killer spot up north here too. But
After checking a trail camera on an adjacent field a few days later, I realized the buck I was after, Sid Vicious, had actually cruised through this bedding area just that morning. We never saw him on the evening of the 28th or the next morning on the 29th when we hunted the same stand. My God, if only. Thanks for watching Whitetails Inc. If you don't already own a Wicked Tree Gear saw, do yourself a favor and check them out. The life it saves could be yours. Unlike a lot of professional hunters out there, I won't sacrifice the equipment I use to fill sponsorship slots. I only use the equipment I personally believe gives me an advantage in the field. Here are some of those products.
I've been using Vortex binos for something like 10, 12 years now. And there's several things I really like about these binoculars and the company. Number one, it's a hunting company. They are a smaller business based in Wisconsin, and their customer service is second to none. Their product quality is fantastic, and they're not some giant corporation that pays all these big name celebrities all kinds of money to promote their products. They pretty much are a grassroots, family-run business, and those are the types of companies that I prefer to work with. The biggest thing is the quality of their optics for the price. I don't think can be beaten. These are a very mid-range price binocular. I actually switched to these from a higher-end Vortex binocular because I wanted something a little bit more lightweight this year. And the glass quality is fantastic. From low light, cold weather, they're clear, crystal clear, and they hold up to an unbelievable amount of abuse. We beat the crap out of these things. The eyepieces don't break like some of the other brands that have cheap eyepieces. These things take an incredible amount of abuse. I mean, we pack them up. I've dropped them onto tree stands, dropped them on cement floors, you name it. And I have yet to have a single issue with any of my Vortex binoculars ever. And that's after years and years and years of abuse. So if you're out looking for a new pair of binoculars or your first pair, do yourself a favor and check out Vortex. They make a style and price point for every budget, and there is not a better business customer service wise than Vortex. So you can take my word for it. I wouldn't be working with them if they weren't the best.